Don't sleep on Kirby Air Riders. This game looks absolutely incredible. And if it didn't look incredible already, after today's Nintendo Direct specifically about the game, I think it's the second one as well. We already had a complete hour about this game already presented by Sakurai, who was like, you know what? Why not? Let's do another hour showing off a bunch more stuff. And you would think, like, okay, what else did they have to show from the previous one? They had a lot. They had a bunch. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing Sakurai talked about was Top Ride. Now, Top Ride was one of the game modes in Kirby Air Ride, the original on GameCube, and I played it like once, maybe, and I think that's how most people did. Like, everyone played City Trials, maybe the main, like, Air Ride mode as well, but no one really played Top Ride. I think Sakurai even, like, memed on that a little bit. It was like, hey, you know what? Sod it. We made it anyway. And, yeah, it looks really fun from what it seems. Obviously, again, it doesn't seem like the go-to game mode you have with this game, but the fact that they added it anyway and were like, hey, you know what, it was in the original, we might as well do it, let's bring it here for the people who did love it. And also, you know, it's a bit of a change of pace for the game. It just, that showcases like the whole attitude I think they had towards developing this game, where it's a case of like, hey, you know what, we might as well do this because it might make some people happy. And I think it's there's an attention to detail which Sakurai already has with his games, but with this, it's just on a whole nother level. And you might think, like, oh, Mads, you're, you know, being hyperbolic with this, but no, just wait, okay? Because I'm just saying this set the tone, okay, of being like, oh, I didn't really think they would do that. Oh, that's sort of interesting if they did it. They did go on about it like I am for quite a bit of time, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because the next thing they talked about was another game mode. This one being brand new to Kirby Air Riders, Road Trip, which seems to be sort of like a roguelike sort of experience that takes all three of the main modes, you know, Air Ride, Top Ride, and City Trials, and combines them into like one big challenge gauntlet where there's like challenge after challenge. You can upgrade yourself, and it seems like a pretty cool experience. Sort of reminds me of classic mode in Smash, and maybe it's specific on characters. I wasn't too sure if that was the case or not, but regardless, it does look like a good bit of fun, and I think it's like made to be a solo experience. So that looks like a pretty fun little mode. I don't know if that's the story mode per se. I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. Like, that was sort of a bit confusing because they talked about story mode later, and yeah, does anyone know? Let me know if I'm incorrect on that. But regardless, fun to have an extra little mode. But also, what was next? Thing they showed off was Paddock, which is a fun name for this, but it's a interactable, fully walkable online lobby. And again, they could have just had like a quick menu, like, or like how they had it in Smash Ultimate, where it's like a little arena and you drag little coins in. But no, you can just run around with your friends as whatever character you are, and that just seems so fun. And like, I don't know, it just makes me so happy seeing like all this like quote unquote unnecessary like elements to a game. Like, it just shows that they care and want to make the game feel like just really immersive and exciting and tactile to feel. It just does so much for game feel, adding an interactable lobby like this, and you know, it's just so sick. I don't know what else to say except for it's so cool. I'm just gonna mess around in this lobby or like wait. I don't know. Just making waiting fun is it's such a lovely thing to see developers add, and it's no different here. And this was a bit interesting too. The class/rank system in this game, it isn't like very traditional. It's not like you know, rank F to rank A or S or whatever, or you know, it's not even a case of like bronze to diamond or whatever it is in like Overwatch and Deadlock and games like that. Instead, they use like the colors of the rainbow, which is very Kirby. It's a very Kirby thing to do. But yeah, the idea is to like not make people feel bad about the rank they're in. And I understand that, and I think that's actually a kind of an interesting take on like a ranking system. And they also have like a similar global wind power, which was similar to like Smash, although they changed the system a little bit. I didn't really understand exactly what the difference is, and also global Smash power, I didn't really I don't know, it's just a very big number, so exciting big number, I guess. But yeah, the idea of the different classes being colors is very interesting, and from the looks of it, it does make it confusing a little bit, obviously just from watching this, to know what is the best rank and what is the quote-unquote worst rank. But I think that's the point. The point is to be like, okay, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, okay, I'm whatever in this game. So yeah, it's pretty fun, and I think that's a good way of like hiding the the skill set, or hiding this idea of like top ranks versus bottom ranks for people who don't want to look into that stuff. And then if you are in the competitive scene, you do have that. And then right after that, right after hearing about all of the things with thingamagoosh with the ranking system, we got a look at some brand new courses, and these also look incredible. All the course designs are so fun, because they don't seem like I've played a couple Kirby games, but I'm no Kirby expert, no Kirby connoisseur for any point. But with all of these, it seems to be all original courses for the most part, and you just sort of see that art style and art direction you get from the original Smash levels and Kid Icarus Uprising showcasing this. And Kid Icarus Uprising, I'm happy to say, is probably my favorite game of all time. I would probably put it above Mario Galaxy and whatever third game which rotates my my 3 favorite games. The Kid Icarus Uprising is so sick if you've never played it, and you can sort of see that same DNA here as well. Like, oh, it's just so cool. I love how the games look. But with this, right after, we get a look at even more courses. This being that every single course from the original Kirby Air Ride is coming to this game. So it makes a total of 18 courses to the game, which is, you know, compared to Mario Kart, well, I guess compared to Mario Kart World, it's not that big of a difference compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, maybe a bit of a bigger one. But again, this isn't that sort of game. This has a lot more different stuff going on. Again, it has multiple game modes, which are all like sort of equally taken care of, unlike, you know, something like a battle mode and Mario Kart, which, you know, always gets a bit left behind. They all look fantastic. They all look bloody brilliant. And, you know, the 9 of a previous game was more than enough for what that experience was. So to have double that, as well as all the new mechanics for adding, just seems brilliant. It's so cool. They also showed off a new, like, mini game mode within Air Ride called Swap Relay, where every lap you change which vehicle you have, which is, that's a cool idea. That seems kind of fun. And after this, we got to look at City Trial and new items which they haven't showed off yet for this game. One including being a familiar face, the Sandbag from Smash Bros, which seems like when you beat him up, you get a bunch of items, which is pretty fun. And on top of that, the Dragoon, which is an item from Smash Bros, which was initially in City Trial to begin with, in the original Kirby Air Ride, as well as like this other sort of similar Dragoon system where it's like more beefy, like this big green snake tank thing. I can't remember what it was called initially, but both of them look so sick. And just like the design of City Trials map, Askaya looks so sick as well. They showed off a bit more of that and showed like these far off islands which you can get to if you have like enough like airspeed and stuff. It's crazy how, like, initially I was like, oh, okay, cool, one map, but the more they show off, the more you're like, oh wait, no, there's a lot to consider with this one map. And I think it's like, that's part of its design, is having this one location which you learn more and more about. And that's really cool. It just looks sick. And also the Mega Cannon item, that looks bloody fun. Can't stop gushing about this game. Sorry if I'm sounding too excited, guys. My bad. My apologies. And right after showcasing more City Trial locations, it was time to show off a couple new riders to the game. Starting off, we got Taranza, which is from, what, Triple Deluxe, I believe? Maybe I'm incorrect. No, I think it's Triple Deluxe. I actually didn't play Triple Deluxe. Well, I don't think I played any of the 3DS Kirby games. Kind of missed out on that. Then you got Lolo and Lala. I don't know what game they're from, but they're really cool. I really like their designs. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of like real different mechanics that come from swapping between which one you are. But regardless, it's just cool. Some fun little characters. But we've got DeRoach, which I think is the mouse from something Attack. Well, it wasn't called Mouse Attack. What was it? It was one of it was like the DS game, I'm pretty sure. Again, see, I'm not the Kirby expert, but I'm like, oh wait, I recognize that face. He seems fun. He can turn invisible and go all crazy thingy-magoosh. But that wasn't all. We got even more. I don't know why he separated them like this, but he decided to separate them into two. We got Rocky, which is a rock. He's pretty fun. If you don't know, that's like one of Kirby's down Bs, I'm pretty sure, in Smash is Rocky. Then you got Rick, Rocky, and Rick. I'm going to probably main Rick. Rick is so funny. And it's so awesome that Rick can also just, like, his special ability is just to start running. He just starts running his feet. We also got Scarfy, which is that little, like, scary looking creature that turns from, like, cute to, like, a big funny looking eyeball. You got marks for classic. It's so, I mean, people often like assume what's so cool about Kirby is when you look at it, look at face value, it's so cute and whimsy, and then like, no, Kirby can be actually very scary. Like, I wouldn't say it's much of a kid's game. Like, I don't know, like if you're like a 6-year-old, I would not say you should be allowed to play a Kirby game, especially towards the end of it, as I'm sure many Kirby people are aware of that. And we got to look at some even more vehicles, one of which being this transform star, which seems pretty sick, where you can like swap between like 2 modes for it. It just seems like everything they're doing with the vehicles in this game are so creative, and like even the animation for the transform star is so sick. Like the spin for it looks so satisfying to do. That's just another thing. It's just like all the little details. You could tell that like Sakurai's like, no, I really have to make multiple directs on this just so I can show off all the work me and the team did. It's just so heartwarming to see all this stuff and see this guy get excited about all these things. And yeah, and all the star designs look just as sick as all the ones we've seen so far. The next thing they showed off was time attack and free run, which respectively time attack is for the main air ride mode, and I think it's for top ride as well, and then free run is for city trials. And free run, I'm very curious what people have to say about this. What are your opinions on it? Because to me it reminded me a lot of another free mode, maybe free roam from Mario Kart World, because what this is you get to walk around city trials, cruise around and just sort of practice for location. And it's almost like, again, it's just like an idea of getting you used to the location and seeing how all the nooks and crannies are. And you can also just completely, just for fun, mess around in the Skya area for city trials. And again, it's like, obviously, when it comes to Mario Kart World, there's that element of doing all the little missions, doing the P-switches, finding medallions. That's not here for the free run mode in city trials. However, I think it just makes more sense to like, it just having like a free roam version just to be a free roam and sort of know what you're getting into, versus like a mode where it's like, okay, yeah, it's sort of a single player experience, but it's also not, but it's also just you messing around and having fun. Sort of congeals into one in Mario Kart World, versus this, where it's just like, okay, this little separate area where you can test out all the vehicles, you can practice your abilities and just hang out. That just seems way more straightforward in understanding, like, okay, this is what this mode is about. And what's also so cool about it is there's this specific star for the mode where you can like fly around, you can, you know, have complete free control of wherever you go, and on top of that, if you hold down Y, I think, you can like create like little air poofs in the sky and draw with it, which is just a crazy medium to think about making like using Kirby Air Riders to make a little doodle in the sky, and then going into photo mode and taking a photo of it and putting it on, you know, Instagram or whatever. Like, that just seems like a really fun challenge. You're like, okay, let's all try and make, you know, you have to make a piece of fruit, you know, using this drawing mode in Kirby Air Ride. And then you have to do, like, you know, a humanoid, or, you know, you have to do, like, just doing drawing challenges in this, or just making art in it. Seems really scary to think that that's possible. I'm really excited to see what people are making with that. And jumping ahead a bit, we get the first look at boss battles. The first being Robo DDD, which is just like a Transformer DDD, which is so sick. Like, I'm sure anyone who loves Transformers seeing this is just gonna freak out. I have a couple mates who are like, grew up and love Transformers, and I cannot wait to see their reaction to this. This is so sick. It doesn't seem like it's the only boss. They didn't show any of the other bosses directly. They teased them, but it's cool to see that there's, like, again, boss battles in this game. That's like, again, on top of everything else, having boss battles in this game is so sick. This was interesting too. The achievement system for this game, I think they're calling it the checklist, but what's so cool about it is that whichever one has like the challenge for it, you can just press A on it and it sets all the settings for you to complete that challenge, versus you know, being like, okay, wait, I have to do a backflip in this specific mode as this character and not take any damage. Okay, I gotta set it to backflip mode, gotta do all this stuff. It's just like right there for you to do the achievement. And again, doing all of these unlocks races, unlocks maps, all that good stuff. And one thing which was super nice, which Sakurai mentioned, is that with the online section of the challenges, none of them are required for you to unlock things for the game. So it's like, even if you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, you can still get everything from this game, and that's really lovely to see. That's just like a cool thing to factor in for the people who don't have online. But this is where it gets interesting, guys. My Machine, which is where you can decorate your vehicles to look like whatever you want, and you unlock new items. You can go to a little shop and get little stickers and little keychains and stuff to put on it. This is so sick. This is so sick. And then on top of that, you can showcase them in a little garage. Like, who thought of that? Like, it's so cool to have this much customization for a racing game. And I know that Sonic Racing Crossworlds had it a little bit, but like, some of their little banners were like Samsung SSDs. Like, there's no advertising or promo for anything else in this. It's just all cool little Kirby things and little like cute little designs which you can make. And again, it's just another cool aspect of having a creative medium. I love when games do this, just giving you like, again, it has constraints, it has these aspects of it. It's almost like meme makers. Like, meme makers and character creators give you all this, they give you limitations, but it still like evokes creativity. It's all for good stuff. It's all for good stuff. And I love seeing the customization going to this level with the game. And I'm just going to spend hours on this, I know it. And it wasn't the only thing which has customization, because now you can also give hats to all the characters in the game, which is kind of fun. It kind of reminds me of a bit of TF2. But no, it's super sick. It's so cool to have this much again, variety. And again, I know Mario Kart World has costumes as well, but in that game, obviously, there's specific costumes for specific characters. This is just like, okay, silly hats for all the silly Kirby characters, and it's universal. Anyone can wear a hat. But again, it works better for this game in that regard, and, it depends on which one you like more. Do you like having characters which have specific outfits catered to them, or do you prefer the idea of having these universal items which anyone can wear? It's just which one do you really prefer? And in this case, I think it makes more sense to have the game be like this. And they kept showing more and more and more stuff. They showed the options for visual effects, music options, like My Music, how it is in Smash Bros, amiibo, like brand new amiibos coming, again, little cutscenes for the story mode. But for one thing, which I sort of want to ramble on for most about this and sort of satisfy the video there, is the menu for this game. The main menu they designed for this is so sick. It's like a tabletop, and you have like this little figurine of Kirby walking around, and the amiibos can change that little figurine. It's so cute. It's so cute, so fun. And every time Sakurai does a menu, I think his wife actually designs all the UI for his games, but like every time it is a home run. And this one I think is probably my favorite, if any of them. Like the one for Smash Ultimate was cool. It felt like very quick and snappy for you to like get into each thing, but giving it like this skeuomorphism, tactile feel of it being like on a table, it's brilliant. It's so cool. It's so fun, and having a little checklist be a little checkboard. This is my sort of jam, guys. I love stuff like this, and it just makes me so happy. All the graphic design aspects they put into it, it's so cool. You could tell that they took so much extra effort to, go above and beyond, and I really just can't wait for this game. And there is going to be a global test ride on the 8th, I think, of November, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out. Let me know if you guys want me to stream it. Maybe I'll do that. And more importantly, what do you guys think about this Kirby Air Ride Direct? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Do you feel like it showed off too much? I know I have some friends who, swear never to watch any Nintendo Directs because they want to be surprised for the games when they come out. Obviously, they'll watch like the main ones, but like past the first trailer, they won't watch anything else about it. You know what? I feel like you are missing out if you don't watch this Direct. It's so fun. You can see the passion from Sakurai and see all the effort the team put into this. It's so sick. It's so sick. Anyways, that's been me, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.